Today I'm going to give you one tip or one concept that if you follow this will reduce your chances of lower back pain hugely. Hello, it's Andy from the Movement Project. So the tip that I'm going to talk to you through is how to bend forward properly. Now, this doesn't sound really groundbreaking, but when you hear a lot of the advice that is out there, most of the time you hear is bend at your knees, then bend forward. Where sometimes this can be correct, I don't think it's necessarily helpful. And the reason for this is that I think that people should learn how to bend at their hips first. So then they use their knees and lower back as accessory joints to then do the rest of the bend. So most of the bending should come at the hips. So now I'm going to show you some examples about how not to bend, then how to bend forward properly. Also, I'll finish giving you a few different exercises that you can try to do that will enable you to start bending forward correctly. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how you shouldn't be bending. So as you can see here, as she's bending forward, she's using all her lower back. So the lower back here is doing all the stretching. The hamstrings aren't really doing much in this. As she comes back up, the stretch part has got to do all the work. So this is the lower back muscles. These are very tiny muscles. So this is how you shouldn't be bending forward. So the aim is that you should have soft knees, and then what you do, you hinge at the hips. So as you can see here, the lower back is completely straight. The hip part is the part that's actually doing the movement. The hamstrings then is taking the majority of the stretch. So to get to the starting position, the hamstrings now have to do the work. And this is where we want all the weight to be, because these are huge muscles. They're very strong muscles. As you can see at the very bottom part of the bend, the lower back will come into play a little bit, but this has now been an accessory joint to the bending forward. So this is an example that I thought I'd use about how sometimes saying that to bend at the knees isn't always helpful, because certain things like this chair, or it could even be a box, when you go to bend your knees, the object is in the way. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just then compensate by using their lower back, which is, like I said, is not what we want. So what we should do is, once again, soft knees, but then hinge at the hips. The back then is very straight and not doing the lifting. The hamstrings are still doing the majority of the lift. So a quick example of how not to do it. So arching round with the back, then the back once again is done all the lifting at that point. There are other ways that you can hip hinge. So this could be a staggered stance or effectively a lunge. So as you can see here, the lower back is still very straight. Then she's bending forward to get something off the ground. So it doesn't always have to be with both legs. So we're going to go over a few different exercises. So the first one, if you've got a broom handle or a pole, you can use this and you hold on to it on either end. You put it behind your back. Now the 3 points of contact should be at the top part of your head, between the shoulder blades and at the sacrum. As you can see, as she's bent forward, all of these 3 points are still in contact. So how you shouldn't do this is like this. So when you feel parts of the pole is coming away from those contact points that we just talked about. So another exercise, what you can do is, if you get a band, then you stand onto the band, holding the band on either end, and then all you do, it's a version of a deadlift. So you keep your back nice and straight, and then you bend forward. This offers a little bit of resistance, just so you can start working those muscles and see how it should feel. So as you can see here, it's all in the hips, lower back is really nice and straight. So another exercise is a simple bridge. So all you do is you lay onto your back, put your feet flat on the floor. You can use your arms a little bit on this one, and then you push your glutes or your bum off the floor. Then you hold for a split second, and then you come back down. Okay guys, so I hope you found that useful. If you did have any other questions or queries, please put them in the comments section below. If you want to discover more about your health and well-being, subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much for watching.